Welcome back to another episode of the Randy Wilson Podcast. This is episode 70, and I have none other than the good brother today, Sir R.B. Robert S. Bro, appreciate you.
Salute.
Thank you, sir, for being on the show today.
Salute, man. We on the Randy Wilson podcast. So we made it, bro. We here, bro, for real. Now, this is an honor. We made it, y'all.
You funny, man. It's a pleasure to have you on the show, man. Episode 70. It's going to be a free flow. It's going to be a great conversation. Before I get into this guest, though, make sure you guys go check out the randywilsonpodcast.com. This podcast can be seen everywhere podcasts are played, but I suggest you go over to YouTube because then you get a chance to capture the visual. But yeah, Sir Bay, Robert.
Yes, sir.
Bay. I've never called you by your name, but it's on the book. Okay,
it's on the book.
Guys who don't know, author of Your Gift, Your Passion and Your Purpose, Activation and Actualization of Your Highest Potential. We're going to talk about it. For those of you who are not familiar, get familiar with this book. I want you to see it. I want to show it to you. I want to make sure you know what it's about. All right. Look, I'm going to keep this book while I go into this brother's intro, okay? Writer, artist, and now author.
Emissary.
That's right. Robert Bay was born in Wilmington, North Carolina, and raised by his parents.
Port City.
As a military child, Robert was given the privilege of traveling and living all across the country, which has given him exposure and connections to various cultures, social constructs, backgrounds, and environments from an early age. During the height of his success in his music career, Robert decided to take a break from the music industry for the pursuit of spiritual advancement and self-realization. Through this soul journey, he was revealed his purpose as a master communicator and conduit for human evolution. Robert now is traveling and engaging audience to guide them in activating and actualizing their highest potential while maximizing their gift, passion, and purpose. As a social advancement specialist, his goal is to unify people from all walks of life and assist them in establishing a healthy and cohesive dialogue, a superior lifestyle, improved communication, and substantial growth. This is the book. This is the man. Sir Bay, it's a pleasure to have you on the show.
Ashe. Hey, man, salute, man. Thank you for having me, bro. It's about time, man. Like all these dope conversations we be having behind the scenes. Wow, we get to bring it to the big stage. So thank you for having me, bro. Thank you for carving out the time and holding the space. Yo, just triple salute to you for your platform, the work you've been putting in, bro. Just the grind, like, the passion, just the work, man. You just do the work, bro. And I always respect that about you, your consistency.
Well, it's mutual, brother. I got to say the same thing about you. I mean, and to the highest level. For those of you who are listening in, and if you're becoming familiar with Sir Bay for the first time, let me share with you what inspires me about him. Like when I go to his, social media and he posts a story, or he actually just posts a couple minutes where he's actually just, speaking into the camera, it can stop me. Like I talk about it all the time. I don't have my phone on me at the moment, but we're in this climate where we scroll. That's all we do. I get locked in on Sir Bay. And unlike most of you folks who's up, like I scroll past the audio folks, but when I get to Sir Bay and he starts speaking, it captures me. It gives me warmth. It gives me foresight. It really just gives me, it slows me down, I guess you can say. It slows me down for me to kind of just take in for a moment and hear what he has to say. And it's very much worth it. And so I encourage you guys to go check out his social media. It's not just his social media. Go check out his social media. Go check out his book. But let me tell you this. This is what's very impressive, okay? And I consider myself a friend, all right? So I'm watching, we all on Clubhouse, okay? And we're going to talk about the Grab a Gang. Grab a Gang, that's Grab, I said it correct, right?
Yeah, you said it right. Shout out to J-Babe, Grab a Gang.
Let me tell you, man, I don't have a friend on Clubhouse that has been as influential, in my opinion, as you. And the reason why I say that, I mean, to me, it's not a wow. I mean, it is a wow, but
right. It doesn't mean a lot.
But it's like, listen, if I want to call this brother, if I want to connect with this brother, I can. He's made himself accessible to me. You know what I'm saying? Not only to me, he makes himself accessible to the community. He makes himself accessible
Facts.
to those who are willing and living with purpose. Simple as
Facts.
that.
Simple as that.
But what you have done, and well, what you do. This is what you do. It ain't about what you do. What you do, though, when I'm able to sit back and witness from the crowd, the audience that you have the ability to create on Clubhouse. And I'm saying you. I know that it's a collective, but
right.
But you're respectfully a leader within that collective. And when you speak, you gravitate hundreds. I mean, I may have even seen 1,000 folks in the room before. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's very special, particularly on a new platform. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is still somewhat early in this beta stages of development.
Right.
It really speaks to how you have an ability to impact culture, and you know your voice is it's desired to be heard. So I really want to salute and give you up, brother. You deserve your flowers because I feel
wow, man.
what you're doing is not just for a platform. It's not just for show. Like you're completely living with purpose. And my first question tonight, naturally, as we talked before the show, when I pick up this book, I go to certain parts of the book. I kind of like fish through the book, right? My first question tonight, and this comes without any coincidence, it was about purpose. And the reason why is because I think that when you speak to people, I think if people are kind of familiar with you, but they don't really know, but they know, but they don't know.
Right.
They're gonna be intrigued. I feel like they're like, what is his purpose?
Right.
Because I feel like you live a life with intention. And
right.
so I found that very coincidental when I opened it was like the first page in the book after acknowledgement. It was purpose. What's that word mean to you?
Whoa, man. Purpose is your divine, well, you know, from my personal perspective, your purpose is your divine mission. You know, to me, it's the reason you were sent here. It's the reason you're having this experience. You know, however you want to frame your perspective or however your imagination forms to you know, understand or understand what God is, the Most High, the Creator, the prime source of all creation. It's why it sent you here. You're here for a reason. There isn't any such thing as a coincidence. And it's no coincidence that you said the word coincidence. You know what I'm saying? Like once you realize that there's no such thing as coincidences, you can start to say, okay, well, if it's not a coincidence, if it's not random, it's here to teach me something. And what am I here to learn from it? And why? And why am I here? You know, and these are basic questions. And, you know, when we say it like on this, it sounds basic. And you think everybody would ask themselves, why am I here? What am I here to do? What is this? Who am I? You would think that these basic questions, you know, at least 90% of the population would at some point really deep dive and ask themselves and look at themselves. But a lot of people don't. So that started the journey right there.
What led you on that path? What was the path to this place? Okay, like I'm curious of that. You've always been, I'm sure, a portion of who you are.
Right.
And I'm curious of like what was the process?
I mean, man, to be honest, that's a mixture of a lot of different things. Because, like you said, that is a portion of who I am. You know, it's about being whole. You know, I'm still the same person I was when I was 18, 25, 30. You know, I'm still the same person, but I'm not the same person at the same time. And we all are. I'm not just talking about myself, you know. So for me, especially being a male, just taking it back to a baby, you're born. And, you know, a lot of people can go back to remember when they were 1 year old, 6 months, 2 years old. Some people, they can only remember back to kindergarten. But, you know, you're born, you're in your pure state. You go to school. My mom was in the Army, so we moved a lot. We moved every year or so. So I had to move every year to a new state, a new city, and learn a whole nother type of, another culture or another type, like the West Coast or the East Coast, or how they do it over here. So having to move a lot, I had to get comfortable in my own skin. And I had to get tough skin quick. You know what I mean? Because people would test you because you're different. You know what I'm saying? Not just skin color, just culture. You could be somebody with the same pigmentation or whatever. Like, just you may be culturally different. You may have a different slang. So through that military lifestyle, like these military schools, these are like terror domes. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like you would have kids from California and, North Carolina and, Pennsylvania, New York and Texas, all in one school, and they don't want to be there. And you got testosterone and adrenaline. It was fights every day. You know what I'm saying? So we were fighting every day at most of the schools that I went to. We didn't know why, but that, looking back in hindsight, you put all these mixed energies in a cage or in a school building, you're gonna have these explosions and these clashes. So, out of that culture, and you mix that with sports, I played football, I played basketball. You get out of high school and you still have this aggression. Now, I'm coming up in the 90s. I'm an 80s baby, but I'm coming up in the 90s with the music. This is around 97, 98, 99. That adrenaline and that energy, that aggressive, competitive energy from high school just transferred right into the music. And it was already transferred in the streets because we were also in school, but we were in the streets. Me and my whole crew, we were in the streets. And the street life, man, really, to answer your question, like in a nutshell, me having to go through the crevices and caverns and trenches of the streets and being able to come out, being in situations where you say, man, if I live through this, like, hey, God, if I live through this, if I make it through this, I promise I'm going to change my life, or I'm going to start looking at things different. I'm going to start taking things serious. When you get into shootouts and the bullet fragments are right where your head was, but you didn't get hit, or your friend gets shot in the neck, or when your friends start passing away and going to jail and they can't raise their children, and you're seeing the effects real time. It's not just rap songs and movies anymore, and we know in hindsight now as wiser, mature men that this was a systematic design for us to be trapped in easily. And, coming to the realization and seeing the traps. It's one thing to get trapped, but you got to know you're in a trap. Most mouse, they don't know they're in mazes being studied by scientists. They're just following the maze. They think they're making, actual free choices. They're not. Their choices are chosen for them. So you start to get cognizant of like, wow, the music is influencing the streets and the streets is influencing the music. And they're both, they do have their positives, but they also have their negatives. And we're seeing the effects real time more and more. And this is before where it's at now. I started to see it then. I'm like, wow, like it's really getting serious. And, when your friends start fading away and pass away and getting locked up, you start to just like say, man, what is this? Those basic questions started to trigger, and it started from there.
How was God introduced to you in life? Yeah, listen, brother. Wow. I don't ask everybody the same questions.
Right. Facts.
And we've had a lot of conversations, but this is the one I wanted to have. So it's like we
you say you waited
because I know I wanna.
Let's go.
Part of my motivation is because I'm getting ready to go back through this. And so as I shared with you before the show, and as I share with my audience, when I interview someone, I typically spend a week preparing for the conversation. I have the conversation, and then I probably spend a week or two like reading in the conversation. This is a conversation for those who are listening. I'm telling you now that you can't just listen to it. This ain't no one take situation. You're going to have to listen to the conversation through, because this brother's going to take you through layers. All right. And when we talk about God, that's something that there's a lot of different layers to how people see God, receive God, understand God, embrace God, know God.
Absolutely.
I have no idea how he's going to answer this question, but you may see God differently, or he may elevate you into some spaces in regard to where you may begin thinking about God a little bit differently. And I say that to everyone from the standpoint of stretching yourself, because some people see God as this mystery, you know.
Right.
Some people see God in themselves.
Right.
And I'm really interested in regard to how you was introduced to God. And then we're going to go from there.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Well, because now I'm comfortable with telling this story. I physically was introduced to God. I was in a field. I drove to this field. It was getting late. It was getting dark. It wasn't late, but the sun was going down. And I don't know what told me. My intuition told me to go to this field. And I went to the field, and I was laying on my car, and I was just going through it. You know what I'm saying? I said, God. I didn't really have a concept of what it was. I just knew it, of course, in the South, you're raised, for most of us were raised Christian church or raised on the Bible, or your grandma, or your grandfather, or, with your parents, whatever. So, our concept was everybody else's concept as far as church was concerned. But I was sitting on my car, and I said, God, if you exist, I just please just ask you to reveal yourself to me. And I said, I'll never ask you to prove yourself, your existence to me ever again, if you can just reveal yourself to me, right? And I'm laying on the hood of my car, and I close my eyes. Maybe it was for 10 seconds, maybe it's 30 seconds, maybe it was 5 minutes, I don't know. And I opened my eyes, and literally I looked in the sky, and there was a hand in the sky. It was in the shape of a hand, you know what I'm saying? It was reaching down for me, but it was really like made up of clouds, but you could tell it was a hand. You see cloud formations, mm-hmm. but you could actually, and it was a hand reaching down for me. Like I'm laying on the car, and it's reaching down for me. And after that, I said, I'll never question your existence again. And that's when I really said, okay, now I need to know you and understand you and overstand you and have a holistic understanding of what this is. Not that I could ever fathom, or we could ever fathom, what the source of all creation is, but it's about the soul journey. It's about the journey. It's about the journey of self. Man, know thyself. And you have to know yourself so you can be yourself. So that's how I was introduced to God. That was my bridge merging point from the streets to spirituality. And music has always kind of been that conduit in the middle, been the soundtrack to the journey. So I went from making, street wild ass crazy street music, and it's still me. It's still a part of me. I'm not ashamed of that. I wouldn't change anything that I did or who I was, because that's it. Every fragment makes up the whole, which is me. And that's how I learned what quote unquote God is. I said, okay, if every piece in existence is all of us in our individual expression, every piece brought together makes the whole, which makes the source, or the all that is, which makes God. Or so quote unquote God. God, the word God means to call upon or to invoke. So when you actually do the etymology, and for those who are not familiar with etymology, it's just the root of words, where words come from, the original intent or energetic signature of a word. So when you do the etymology on the word God, it means guff or gut, or to call upon or to invoke. So it really means it's a verb, it's an action. So if God is an action, like we say love is an action, then who's doing the calling? Who's doing the loving? We are. And aren't we made in the image of God? So, it's a interwoven sacred relationship of your holistic self aligned with the divine creator of all existence.
Did you grow up like in the Christian church, or what kind of church did you grow up in a church at all?
I really did. My mom tried to make us go to church a few times. We really wasn't with it. She always used to say we was Baptist, but she really let us do our thing per se. Like our spirituality, religion was not on my mind really when I was coming up. It was really just, the 90s, bro, cartoons, playing outside. We was playing outside all day, outside all day, riding bikes, water guns, chasing girls, hide and go get it.
Yeah. Yes. So, but reason why I ask that is because I think when people become accustomed to you, if those who are, they already know. Those who will become or will learn you, whether it's through reading your book or listening to some of your, listen to you speak, I think everything around you has conviction. And so to me, it's like, to me, these are building questions, but to me, these questions are meaningful because of I'm curious to kind of understand the foundation of where you come from, because it then helps me understand the journey to where you are right now and
Yes.
going back to purpose. So like to
Yes.
me, it's like it sounds like you grew up like most typical kids. I mean, like if we went to church, it was on Sunday. If we
Yep.
went, and typically it was around Easter. If we,
Yep.
you know what I'm
Every
saying?
once
But it
there,
wasn't. But you know, so I found that I find that to me to be unique though because of where you are now. It's just that I mean, you walking in the spirit, brother.
Yeah, man. Thank
You're
you,
walking
man.
in the spirit, and so to me, it says that through your life, regardless of where you were and where you've experienced, you've had some type of transformation. You've had a change.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There's people who know me from the streets or back in the day or us being younger who cannot believe who I am now. And there are people who know me now who would never believe who I was. But I'm the same person. You know what I'm saying? As we all are. It's just an evolved, holistic it's your whole self. You become your whole self. You merge the polarities of yourself to become holy. That's why even in religion they say you want to be holy. Holy corresponds with being whole.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah.
Do you identify with DMX?
What, man? Look, man. Long live X, man. Man, X got me through my bid. When I was locked up, DMX, Who We Be, I think it came out 2000, 2001, 1999, something like that. I was in my cell and that song came out. And this is the point where I'm in my cell where I'm like, all right, and this is one of those situations where, all right, God. And this is another time that I came to God, but it was more of like, it wasn't as genuine per se. I didn't really have an understanding, but it was genuine in the sense I was trying to communicate. And I was just like, God, if I make it out of this alive, if I get out of this prison. And I was locked up in one of the worst prisons on the East Coast in Baltimore, Maryland. It's called the Castle, MTC. And it's called the Castle because it looks like an old ass castle from Europe. It looks like an old cryptic castle to this day, And man, I was 18 years old. I went from high school to prison. I graduated, went straight to prison. And most people don't know, the school systems, unfortunately, are designed for you to go to prison, to college, or be an employee. They want you to be an employee, go into debt with school, and get you a degree, or you're going to jail. That's how the system is set up. There's not a lot of in between for a lot of people. Some, weave through the cracks and do what they do. Some people become millionaires. But I went from high school to prison. And, our era was once you turn 18, you getting out the house. And me being a boy, adolescence, we're hard-headed. We out here hitting our head against the wall all day. My mom, it's 3 of us in the household. There's 3 boys. We all hard-headed. We learning. My parents always say, I always tell my parents, like, man, how did you deal with us without killing us? And it's like, we got to let y'all learn on your own. Sometimes you got to learn. Experience is the best teacher. And it's so true. Sometimes, not all the times. I mean, a wise person, you can learn from other people's mistakes and stuff too. But a lot of times, yes, experience is the best teacher. So, it's not being ashamed. I wouldn't change anything that happened. And I'm that's part of my purpose is to show people, hey, man, this is about evolution. This is about growing. This is about honesty. This is about accountability and responsibility, even with our people with the conditions that we're in. It's not our fault that houses were redlined. It's not our fault that our people were tricked and captured as prisoners of war and put into chattel slavery. It's not our fault our people were murdered and our Black Wall Streets or so-called Black Wall Streets were burned down. It's not our fault, but it is our responsibility to still fulfill our destiny and fulfill our purpose. So we still have to stay the course, and people fall into this subconscious victimhood when you really need to step into your subconscious and conscious victoryhood, So it's very important, man. It's very important. Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to shout DMX in the context of this conversation just because I think he's another brother that clearly he had his troubles like we all do. But I feel like his spirit was so strong through it all. And
long live the dog, man.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what about X, man. Me and Noah was just talking about this. And but DMX gives me hope for humanity. When he's one of the people that really gave me hope for humanity. Now, listen to me. In a world where you have people who have born with silver, quote unquote, people say this, born with silver spoons in their mouth, have everything handed to them, or whatever. They get this false sense of entitlement and they become egotistical narcissists, right? Who've never really went through anything, any struggle, any pain. They haven't been through the fire. And then you have DMX, who was, orphaned and, kicked out of his home and tricked into doing hard drugs that he got addicted to and just dealing with all kind of pain and trauma. If anybody had an excuse to be a psycho serial killer out here, it would have been him.
Mm-hmm.
And he was the exact opposite. Biggest heart, kindest guy, didn't wear no big chains and diamonds, saved Def Jam. He could have had the biggest chains, all the cars. You ain't seen none of that. DMX wore the same chain.
Mm-hmm.
DMX would pop up in the most regular places. Bro, DMX was at Candy Bar in Southside Richmond. My boy was out there. He was like, yo, Shaw. Man, I was outside. I was at Candy Bar. Went outside smoking a cigarette. I'm smoking. I asked dude for a light. Dude, give me a light. Turn around. It's DMX. Just stand outside. Smoking a cigarette. Shout out to Real. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, and there's a million stories about DMX all over the globe, just doing regular crazy shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so he gives me hope for humanity in a world where you have narcissistic people who have this false sense of entitlement because of other people in, living in cowardice, thinking that somebody else is better than you based off of some kind of fake social status. Man, it's crazy, bro. So X gave me that hope for humanity. That, man, amongst all of that brother was still one of the brightest hearts, warmest brothers. And at the same time, he shows you that you have to be a warrior of love too. You have to be a warrior of the Most High. You have to be a warrior of righteousness, a warrior of light. Mm-hmm. People have this misconception where they think, and this is where religion comes in and a lot of stuff, people take their interpretations and they run with it as the whole absolute. People have this conception that angelic beings or angels, as we would know it from scripture, are these nice, fluffy, rainbows shooting out of their ears type of beings, bells and whistles. No. Real angels will take your head off righteously if you out of pocket, right? Hey, your grandma beat your ass if you do something wrong.
Yeah.
But a hug and kiss you after to tell you why.
Yeah, it's love. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Appreciate that, brother. So I wanna cross over real quick in a couple of things. Let's talk real quick about music, man. I mean, music is you spoke to the fact that, and I've listened to some of your music. You actually reposted something the other day. You kind of took us back a little bit the other day. Talk to us a little bit about where you are right now with music, because right now it seems like writer, author, you know what I'm saying, speaker, facilitator, you know what I'm saying? And music is just like another part of you. But like, where are you at right now with music?
Hey, music, man. I'm in a great space musically. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, I love how everything is set up right now. The way technology is set up right now, I've been telling people it was coming for probably about 10, 15 years. I used to, and you ask in my homeboys, they'll tell you, I used to always say, hey, yo, music is free. It's free. They're like, how what you mean it's free? I'm like, it's free, bro. Music is free. You don't get it yet, but it's free. I'm like, it's like the soundtrack to the life you live in. And, but you're not really going to get paid for the music directly, but you're going to get paid from other avenues. And your music is just the soundtrack to it. Right. And then here you got Puff a couple years later saying, I don't make money off of music. I remember when Puff Daddy said, I don't make money off of music. Right. I forgot what year it was, but he said that. And that was a crux point where everybody should have said, look, wow, Puff don't, number one earner in hip hop, saying he don't make most of his money off of music. He had some rock, he had clothes, he diversified his portfolio. So I'm like, see, I'm telling y'all, the music is free, right? Then you have Napster, the digital takeover. Fast forward, now you have where we are now with the streaming sites. So I had to go through so many conversions. My prime year in music was like, I say like 98 to like 2004. Right. And then I kind of stepped away from music around 2009 and took a break. And I went through my sojourn, my studies, my rites of passage, all the things that I had to do to become a whole being. And it doesn't stop. I mean, it's not like a level you get to, it's like, I'm just complete. No, it never stops. It's an infinite school. It doesn't stop, But now I'm in a place where my music is purposeful. I know who I am now. The technology is available and ready. You got crypto and NFTs. You can release it now. You can have your own website. I mean, the possibilities are infinite. So now what matters to me most is, again, that narrative, the purpose, the harmonics that are needed in these times. You know what I'm saying? Like, people need to understand the science of vibration in music and how it affects us and our circadian rhythms and our attitudes and our consciousness, etc. And it's very important now, because now is a great opportunity for us to step in and, show people the evolution of where we can go with this. So for me in music right now, it's an exciting time. I'm actually in the studio working. Yeah.
Good. All right. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
That's what's up. We might get like a CD book at the same time. We might get a book and CD. I'm just speaking.
I think of that.
Just put it out there.
Get my notepad.
Just put it out there. All right. So let's talk Grabber Gang. Let's talk about it.
Grabber.
Again, I spoke about it here earlier in the intro. For those of you who on Clubhouse, shout out to you guys. Shout out to the whole gang.
Yeah.
My Clubhouse activity has definitely slowed down from the first couple months.
Facts.
I would assume most people's have. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah.
Has yours
Clubhouse,
slowed down?
Well, I definitely, Clubhouse. It's a lot of factors. All right, one, summertime, right? Summertime's coming, the weather's getting nice. People are out and about. People aren't really, in the wintertime, it's cold, more people in the house. You add the so-called lockdowns or the quarantine, so people were in the house more. And this technology came out right when they announced it. So it was a perfect outlet for people who maybe didn't have people in their house or, whatever, wanted to learn something or just connect with people.
Yeah.
Now you got the summertime rolling around. And like any app, it's going to go through its ups and downs and its waves. So yeah, the usership, because it started out crazy. I mean, people were on there all day, every day. Not me.
But new people, I ain't gonna lie. I was on there. But hey, I was. But new people, but is it new people? Like when you see someone brand new get on, so we done been on it for a while. Is it new people though? Like going to don't they do that as well? They get crazy, like
Right. You're gonna go through
every new
stages.
person goes to that phase.
Yeah, you're gonna go through it. I mean, when I first got introduced, first you're gonna go through figuring it out, and then I went through my phases. I was on there for hours. But I'm talking about those people on there. Yo, I've been in here 3 days. I'm like, what? What you mean? I've been in this room 3 days. Like me, I don't have open rooms that are open all day. I do events. You know what I'm saying? I look at mine as like events or shows. So my event will be, okay, it's going to be this day starting at this time. We'll go as long as we can go and I'll shut it down. I'm not going to leave it open. But like Grabber Gang is an actual room. They have basic instructions before leaving Earth. Grabber Leaf is a leaf. Jay Bape is the president. I know Jay Bape from way back in the day doing music. He's an artist. So I remember some of his music from back in the day.
I know
and when I was getting introduced, you probably seen or heard his name because it's been Astro. He has that Astro that he came out when Soulja Boy was out. Like, but you've seen it, you probably just didn't realize it. Yeah. And so I'm on Clubhouse, I see the name Jay Babe, I see basic instructions before leaving Earth, Grabber Gang. I go in the room and they just have open conversations and it just started from there. I think the main thing that happened that really set it all is we were in the room and they were talking about the Matrix, which the Matrix comes up all the time. I don't care what spiritual, metaphysical, religious, movie, whatever type conversations. And I was like, yo, here we go. No coincidences, right? A few weeks later, Sofia Stewart, the creator, franchise owner of the Matrix, followed me on Twitter.
I was a part of the conversation. Cool. No, she followed you first.
She followed me on Twitter.
And then you end up booking her and looping her into a Clubhouse.
Right. That's right.
Hey, first off, give context on Sofia. I'm familiar with who she is, but for those who may not be, can you give some?
Okay, so Sofia Stewart is the franchise owner, the creator and writer of The Matrix and The Terminator, right? So you can just look her up. You go to her website, truthaboutthematrix.com. She wrote The Matrix story. A lot of people don't know Terminator and The Matrix they go together. This is a series that goes together. The Matrix, the Terminator was sent back to kill John Connor, who is Neo, right? And this is how it was supposed to. It was a big, but what happened was when she was in, I think she was in college. And she has her whole story. You can read it, but I'm just paraphrasing. She goes to college and they had a contest. If you're a creative or a writer, you know, they sometimes back in the day, they have contests. They had a writing contest for a script or plays or whatever. She submitted it, never heard anything about it. Fast forward years later, she goes to the movie theater. I see this movie called The Matrix. She's watching it and she's like, yo, this is my source material. I wrote this. I know everything because I wrote this. And she won the case. She came to Clubhouse and she broke all of it down. And outside of that, man, you talking about walking in the spirit, talking about somebody knowing who they are, being who they are, and just knowing their power and embodying their power. Man, she activated so many people in that room alone. Because not only do people not know, because it's generational, there are generational gaps. That's why we have to be bridges. There are people who don't know that a sister, a melanated, indigenous, aboriginal, melanin-rich woman is the creator and franchise owner of The Matrix. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
People don't know.
Yeah. Is she just curious? Is she married?
I do not think so. No.
I'm getting real nosy.
Right. I don't know.
I only specify that because when I'm in these rooms, right, and I'm in those, right, when I'm in the rooms, I recognize how much you see a good balance of respect is shown.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to respect the mic. You got to respect who's
speaking.
Do that. Like I can accidentally be disrespectful, not intentionally. It's just like, you know, right. I can interrupt someone in the middle of a thought, and you're going to be corrected, and you're going to be respectfully corrected, and you better respectfully interpret it. You know,
that's it.
But I asked in fact if she was married, partially just because I recognized the respect that men and women gave her, and she always made it a priority on her end to give respect to the men in reference to them kings. And so I wondered, like, in her life, like if she wasn't married,
right?
In my mind, I'm wondering why not. And on the flip side, is like if she is married, I'm wondering, I wonder what that king's like.
And you know what's crazy? Neo, the character Neo, is based off Muhammad Ali. Now, she did say that she did used to date Muhammad Ali back in the early days, right?
Wow.
So, but you know, yeah. So you got to realize
that's a
that
bar
connection
in itself.
alone.
I didn't even know that. I didn't know that part.
Neo is based off of Muhammad Ali. That's who she wrote. That's who inspired, and she wrote the character after. Because she was dating Muhammad Ali, and come on, this is Muhammad Ali. Like,
that's crazy. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So that'll help put things into
reference
perspective.
Her one more time for the listeners so they can know where to go check her out.
Yo, Sofia Stewart, you spell it Sophia, Stewart as traditional spelling. You can go to truthaboutthematrix.com and everything will pop up. Everything you will want to know, all the resources, the book. She has a book out. Go cop it. She came to Clubhouse. She tore it down. And we just started building from there. Now they got their own. Now you can start your own clubs. I started my own club. I have the Purpose Pushers. So if you're on Clubhouse, follow the Purpose Pushers. We do exclusive events. We're actually going to bring her back. And Clubhouse has been helping out a lot, man. Like I said, I tell people all the time, everybody has their perspective on Clubhouse and why it was created. Ultimately, the Most High uses us as a vessel, and the Most High uses whatever it wants to as a tool. And Clubhouse is a tool to gauge the collective consciousness right now. It's a tool to gauge where we are socially as a people. And you can look at it by the rooms that people make. You have rooms that are remedial and just who would go in that room, and it's full up. Yeah, and then you have.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna tell you what. I was on it at first. I could use it more. When I was really aggressively on it, I was benefiting. Like Clubhouse helped me plan out 3 months of my podcast. It did, and it helped me. And I mean, there's several people I haven't even tapped back into, and it's shame on me, right? Because I was really beginning to like make some powerful connections, and I just kind of.
No, you did see
slow down.
It's an acclimation too, because a lot of people are getting acclimated, even though we're for the same region or same area. We know of each other or we've seen each other. A lot of us haven't had a chance to dialogue or really get a feel of, you know, what we would like to see as a collective, as collective creators. Say, because I've been in Virginia, I know how we have this habit. You know what I'm saying? Where we get but we get hyped up and charged up and want to get behind something. And we say we're going to do this. And After we get off the phone in Clubhouse, people are not retweeting, people are not liking, people are not commenting, people are not sharing, people are not putting other people on to like the content that you said you liked on the Clubhouse or you like that song. So you got to follow through with the action, and it starts to dwindle down and fizzle out again. And then people got to try to build it back up and start all over again. So so that's what happens. And I'm like, nah, I told y'all, let's not rock like that. Let's like, yo, let's see, like out of the crop of, I'm just talking about the music part. Out of the crop and the music side of Clubhouse that we were having in the music rooms, out of those crop of artists we were hearing, I'm rocking with all them cats, whether it be helping them with resources, advice, resharing, commenting, putting other cats onto their music who gonna reach out to them. Some of these cats got connections that came from me that they don't even know it came from me, because it ain't about me going to say, hey, I did that for you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna do that, you know?
Yo, so, I want to put something out there in the air. I didn't know that you had your own group. I look at the Grabber Gang is you're the gang. I mean, I'm on it. I go to it when I'm on. But I mean, I don't know if people say this to you or not, man. But like to me, like I just get so much value out of seeing how you can facilitate a room and how people respond to you. I get a lot out of that, man. It's inspiring for me. I hope people give you your flowers on that. Like, do you hear that?
You know what? Because how I was raised and how I had to navigate and how I had to adapt and learn people very fast. When you move around a lot, you have to read people really fast so you can get a good gauge of their intention and their energetic signature, so you can tell that they're not. Because again, if you're from someplace different, people got slang, maybe talking in code. You may not know what they're talking about. They may be plotting on you, but they talking another way and you can't decipher it. So what Clubhouse has done is, like, you have people who want to go live in these villages or societies or off the grid type groups, which is dope. If you want to do that, tribe up and do that. But think about it. You have people on a Clubhouse who can't even listen to absorb or understand. They're just listening to respond.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And now you're listening to respond, so you can debate, you can counteract, you can disagree or agree instead of just absorbing what the person is saying.
Yes, brother. Let me tell you what. Clubhouse, first off, shout out to my wife, because she's really who started it. But like for me, Clubhouse made me. My wife always talks about the economy of language. Always.
Woo! That's a bar. That's a book. Yo, tell her trademark that. Bars.
Yeah, it is. She always talks about it, because like sometimes she would sit around and listen to me talk on the phone. I'm working right during the day, and she's just like, you human service folks, like y'all just spend so much time talking. Y'all spend so much time talking. Like, do you ever think about how you could be more concise? And it used to annoy me, but now I've got to a place now where I get annoyed. Yeah. I get annoyed with people who take a long time to get their thought out.
Yeah. Just get. Hey, look, it's like, you know what? It's like, remember we was in school?
Clubhouse really made that, like, only the strong communicators survive.
That's what it's for, man. Because you know what? There's so much confusion and so much information. People think the information age is all positive. It's a negative thing too. Too much information, too much of anything could be bad for you. But too much information can be a bad thing. And because there's so much information out there and people who are confused, you have to be able to decipher and explain it and decode it. And there's a value in that, because once you have a good schematic of the playing field, you could play the game better. And it's real, because once you start to apply it in your life, you start to see the results, right? So it's not like now you have people who are just talking because they like to talk. You have people who are talking because they like the attention. They like the clout. They like the status. They like the social status. So whereas it's me, I don't care about none of that. I don't care about following. I don't care about what you think. I've already accomplished what I wanted to accomplish on my little checklist. But, like I said, it doesn't stop. I'm already fulfilled in that aspect. I'm here for the advancement of humanity, because I have children in this earth. I have friends that have children. There are righteous and innocent people on this earth. I want to make this earth a better place. You know what I'm saying? That's literally my genuine intent. I want to make the earth a better place with my efforts. So if I can help with the concept of thought and how we think and why we think the way we think, and us to actually start to question why we think the way we think, right? Just start there, right? And realizing It's not about, oh, I know this, I'm smart. I tell people all the time, I don't know nothing. And the saying goes, the man who knows he truly knows it all knows he knows nothing at all. That's how you learn. You empty the cup, or at least you empty it halfway so you could receive more water, or, you know what I mean, to flow in, to process new information, a new experience, and look at it different ways, right? And you keep growing that way. And
bro,
you know
what? I just want to put it out there, man, because with all the energy that moves around you, man, this is like fishing. It's like fishing. I'm going to throw stuff out there. Like, it's like fishing because I'm going to catch something, right?
Let's go.
No, I would love to do just a suggestion though. Like, I want to really promote this podcast the right way, and I feel like consider maybe us doing like a small, like a clubhouse room.
Oh yeah,
promoting the book and promoting this conversation to lure people in.
Bro, you could bring the Randy Wilson podcast to the clubhouse. You could do it like once a week, or
I know. People keep telling me that. I know I could. I'm not gonna lie. I've been a little lazy lately, though.
Okay, you been getting lazy? Okay,
I have been. Right. I have been. Like I said, this is the first. For those who are listening, like, this is the first podcast I've recorded in 4 or 5 weeks.
Wow,
but you can't tell them every week.
You can't tell it. Facts.
Now I got to get back on my grind because, like, the storage is emptied out, and so I'm back in it.
Good.
I want you to know, respectfully though, you was like that person, like you the first person in my comeback I wanted to talk to.
Oh man.
Let me tell you why though, because I'm at a place right now, right, where I'm a lot of time I've built this podcast based off like focusing on change makers.
Right.
Regardless of your industry, regardless of what you do, you are creating change. Everyone I've talked to, there's been a reason behind it. All right.
Right.
So I don't want anyone to think about like when you get in shouldn't mean anything.
Right.
The reason why I say it shouldn't mean anything is because you got to understand where I'm gotten.
Right.
Like, through the process. So right now I feel like having a conversation with me is better than if you had it at 20, because I'm learning. I'm growing through the process.
Yes.
And my purpose is changing. Okay. My purpose in the beginning was to engage with people who I felt, not who I felt and who I surveyed audience collectively wanted to hear from. There was collective purpose. Now I'm in a place where it's like, if someone says, hey man, like, I don't want to talk to you, like, you can talk to me anytime. If you know me, I'm an open conversation anytime.
Right.
From a podcast standpoint, it got to make sense.
Right.
Timing is important with all things.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
The time I'm in right now, and the time where I haven't recorded in like about a month, and I'm coming back in, and I'm talking with you on the front end, and it speaks to a couple other folks I've spoke to as well. Mecca was in that space too.
Salute.
I have a couple other people who are coming around that you'll see, but like, I don't want to. Now I'm shifting in a place where I'm not trying to focus on the change maker, but I'm trying to focus on the content that changes people who make things happen. Bars.
Now you talking bars.
Yeah. So I'm letting you know, I'm speaking things into existence, right? Because I'm still fishing. I'm about to throw something, but I just kind of want you to ponder on this, because I'm almost thinking about shifting a little bit. And you kind of come into this space. Like, I almost want to do a series, or like a 12 chapter, 7 chapter series of shows where I focus on, I bring in collectively individuals who can make that happen. And
let's go.
And we staple out.
We
might do 7. We might.
Bro, that's so hard. Because concepts.
And you're one of the people that's in that conversation for me. And I gotta shout her out. I don't know if I want to shout her out. Yeah, it's like Bungalosa on Instagram.
Okay,
I'm saying it correctly.
Gotta tap in.
Are you familiar with her?
I'm not familiar, but I'll tap in, check out.
Man, phenomenal spirit. Like, she doesn't know how much she inspired me through a conversation we had. She's very low key too, man. But she has a lot of. She played a very instrumental role in kind of inspiring some conversation with me. And so, as I'm saying this to you, I want to throw this fish out there. I'm throwing this out there.
Okay. Let's go.
Because like, this is kind of where I want to go. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm coming back, where some people are thinking that you ain't left. No, I am. I've left. Trust me. coming back, and I'm in this space where I kind of want to build and I want to expand on content that changes people who make things happen, and not focus so much on the person who's
right
creating the changes.
that's right
And
that's
that's
right
what's big
absolutely
about you. That's what's big about you.
thank
I
you, bro,
mean,
because
you
that's
are
what
a
purpose
person
is.
that makes things happen, but your conversation is that much more impactful. And the thing about content is that it lives forever.
That's right.
We die.
That's the fact. That's
We
right.
die.
That's right. That's right. But the energy doesn't. Them words don't. The inspiration doesn't. That's why inspiration is the highest, inspiration is the highest human act. One of the highest human acts is the truth, because like you said, man, talk just the concept of what you're talking about. I think the conversation, the concept is more important than the person. It's kind of like an artist, you know what I'm saying? Where the song, sometimes your song becomes bigger than you, and people forget who the artist was. They don't even know about the artist; they just know the song, or vice versa. They know an artist, but they never knew the song that they never knew that song that they put out.
Hey, I'm back. I'm gonna. I don't know, man. Sit on that. Just sit on that thought. All right.
I get
sit on it. Creatively allow it to like kind of fester within you.
No doubt.
And let's make sure we speak within the next few days.
Soon, I got you, bro.
Because I'm looking to build on this, man. I'm looking to build on this with a group of collective folks.
I already got some people who we've been saying the same thing you're saying. We've already been having that same conversation.
But that's kind of work. So like, because I'm like, why haven't you started a podcast?
You know what? I started a podcast. I was doing Control the Narrative, right? I was doing a Control the Narrative, and I started it. And what happened?
Did you fall off, bro? Was you not consistent? That don't even seem like you. What happened?
Yeah, no, that is a part of me. I was doing too much at the time. I forgot what was the triggering thing, but I had my podcast. It was going great. My first episode was with Noah. I did one with Flo and Lotus. I did 2 episodes in Atlanta with Black Sound Oracle, Hayden Hendricks, and somebody else. And I don't know, bro. See, like, because I'm a creative and I'm a Gemini.
I'm bringing you back.
Yeah, you are. Because I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, why did I stop, bro? I don't know. I'm a Gemini, bro. And like,
when's your birthday?
I ain't gonna hold you.
When's your birthday?
June 12th. So it's like, yeah, when I'm into,
I'll save it. My birthday is June 27th, by the way.
Woo!
I'll save that though. My basketball number. And we both
Carolina kids.
My basketball number was 12 though.
And we both Carolina kids too.
And I'm from North Carolina. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So, but I think I was juggling too much. I was still tampering with music, but I didn't have my formula all the way there. I was doing the podcast. I was helping other artists in the city as well. That's what I've been doing behind the scenes. I've been helping a lot of upcoming artists in the DMV, 804 especially, behind the scenes. So a lot of that was at play too. I was helping a lot of guys push through. And I don't know, it kind of got lost in the sauce. It ain't something I've stopped doing, but it got lost in the sauce, bro. People ask about it all the time.
Yo, I'm bringing you back, man. I want you to know that
you
have a staple seat over here if you want to ever engage. Uriah said he wanted the same thing, and then we got stuck in the house. Uriah and I was talking about some stuff like this too. So Uriah,
see, that's what happens.
You're always welcome. Anytime you have an idea or thought and you want to come over here and ponder on it, I don't mind doing all the, the cutting and the editing and the video production.
See, that's the dope part.
Work.
See, you love that. See, that's the dope part because we had these phenomenal conversations.
I don't love it. I don't love it. I don't love
it,
but I'm committed. But what it comes down to is this: somebody got to be committed to it.
And you know what? That's what it was. You just brought it to me. The editing. That's exactly what it was. So I would shoot the episodes. And we would have these great conversations, and the conversations go an hour, 2 hour and a half, and you got to come back and edit, and you lose a file, or the audio didn't, or the technical difficulties. Yeah. And you know what? Then I had to get another because I was using my phone. I had a rig for the phone because this goes back to the technology conversation. It's like, all right, the technology is available now where you can order a rig off Amazon or wherever, and you can shoot with the lights and everything from your phone. But now I got to get another phone because I need a phone to edit from. I got to take calls. So it became like, yo, I'm doing everything.
It's a lot of work, man. That's why
it's a lot of work.
When you got a team, it's definitely better. And look, first off, I got to shout out. I do got a team of folks. I got a team of folks. Let me put it this way. I got a team of folks that play their respective positions well. Like, team ain't even the right word. Nah, I don't got a team. Let me stop with that. Because I started out with that team mindset, and I recognized that team started with me.
There you
because
go.
so I got partners. I don't
There you.
really
I was
do
gonna say
team.
partners. I was gonna say
I don't really
partners.
do team well. I mean, I'm from a team, or I played basketball, so I'm team oriented. That's where my mind's
Right.
from. But when it comes to business, I'm more like partners.
Partnerships, man.
I don't really want like teammates, team
Right.
player. If you ain't a leader of your own, it don't
Right.
really work well with me. So I
That's the
got some
difference,
great
man.
partners. Shout out all my partners. Shout out Enso Media. Shout out Randolph Focus. Shout out Rock Creations.
Salute.
They all play very complementary roles
Oh,
in their
wow.
respective positions. And if I want to throw the ball here, can you help me with this? Or that's what
Yeah.
works. So
Yeah, man.
I say all that to say though that if we can make some things happen, this is where I'm going. I think I'm gonna stop. And some people are gonna be bothered by it, but I may stop like just doing interview. I may kind of take the interview piece off for a while.
I can see that.
And a lot of people like that part, and I understand why. But then I'm changing the focus off of people for a moment. I'm putting the focus on content.
Right.
And if you engage in content, then you'll understand that.
Right.
Do 70 episodes just to focus on people all the time.
Right.
Like, at some point, you got to come back and you got to understand what my purpose is with this.
Yes. There you go. And see, because that's what I'm saying, bro. Come on, man. Big bars, bro. Because like you said, man, what are the things that change people? What are these mechanisms and systems and things that people go through, or these concepts that people are enlightened upon, and it changes their life, it changes their mindset, or they get inspired, or they see somebody doing something that they didn't know exists. This is why it's important to embody it. We come from this, we're leaving, 2020 hit, and Corona hit, and we got to really see what it is, and all this fake illusion stuff started to crumble right before our eyes, and people got to see what it really is out here now. Yeah. Where your favorite celebrities were really showing you who they really were.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And some people still didn't want to believe it. Right. Yeah. So now it's about ain't no more fake, ain't no more illusion. It is who it is. You see what it is, but it's about being who you are. And you can't be who you are till you know who you are. And most people just don't know who they are. They haven't even embarked upon the journey, and you can see it all in their energy. So there's nothing wrong with that. There's no judgment, because I was there. I went through a long part of my life where I didn't, it wasn't until I was probably about 26, 27 years old that I even started asking basic questions like, yo, who am I? Where am I? What am I here to do? What is this? What am I supposed to be learning from this?
Mm-hmm. Well, yo, we're gonna, as we wrap to the fourth quarter, I want to make sure.
Yes, sir.
You let me know, because I want to kind of follow your lead on it. But like, I would like to promote this show with you in other platforms and other spaces.
Of course.
Because particularly with Clubhouse, because I feel like a lot of people probably become familiar with you through your voice on that. This is a way exactly. That we can lure them in to go and see you.
Oh yeah,
see you.
That's what's happening,
that's a dope hat you got too, by the way. Like,
hey, thank you, man.
Where'd you get that?
I got this from a site, man. Shout out to the Flowing Lotus, her king. I got the link from him. I shoot it to you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And we can do that, bro. Because like you said, you have auditory learners, you have visual learners, you have who need all of it. They need all of that. They need the audio, the visual. Yeah. It's more impactful. Just everybody learns differently. I'm here to learn and I'm here to teach. I'm here to be honest in my experiences, but I'm also here to serve my purpose. And yes, I am here to socially help humanity advance. We have a collective mission as well as individual missions. And I know communication is key. If you go to war, anybody who's been in the military, the most important thing on the battlefield in war is not guns, it's not troops, it's not fuel, it's not food, it's communication. That's the number one thing in war is your comms, your communication. Yeah. Without it, you don't know where your soldiers are. You don't know where the targets are. You don't know where you're going. Yeah. Right? So if we can get this communication thing down, and that's what Clubhouse is doing, is showing people it's helping people sharpen their sword, and not to debate or go against people, but to respectfully have conversation communally, where people aren't debating or getting mad or emotional or want to fight each other. Because if you want to fight each other on Clubhouse, what you going to do in real life? Yeah. You're going to physically fight. Yeah. Yeah. So it's teaching us these skills that unfortunately we're not taught in school. Yeah. And we're learning it now. So, yeah.
We just let me know, man. I'm going to get on your schedule and we're going to make it work. We're going to make it happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So fourth quarter, man, this is how we close. I got 7 questions. They're random.
Yeah.
partially random, but partially with purpose.
Okay.
That's the key word for the night.
Yeah, you better know it.
First, question number one: decipher the difference between a problem and a challenge.
Ooh, a problem is uninvited, unwarranted, unneeded. You don't need problems. Problems are manifested through distortion, right? And confusion, and build you up. You got resistance to build the muscle. So is a big distinguishment between a challenge and a problem. A challenge is, hey, I bet you can't do 50 push-ups. You know what I'm saying? A problem is, yo, give me your wallet, give me your chain. You know what I'm saying? Or I hate you, or, you know, it's a life and death situation, or you're dealing with somebody toxic and you don't understand how it got to this point. These are problems. These are unwarranted things that you don't necessarily need to develop or grow, but you're allowing it through your free will. A challenge is a beautiful thing. And, you know, we tend to confuse both. So I like to always make the distinguishment between both.
Are problems created like through like to me, when the way you described it, problems can be unrestricted or like unconditional. Like problems can be created outside of yourself, where challenges can be found within yourself. It's like things that you can overcome within yourself. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. A problem is more of an external, it's more external because it's based off perception and it's based off confusion and distortion. So when people don't understand each other, it does lead to problems because you're not seeing each other. You're not seeing the God within each other. You're not seeing the common ground. So you have a distortion. Now you can't see. So yeah. And that brings in fear, etc. Yeah.
Question number two, distinguish the difference between free will and divine will.
Ooh. Well, I mean, yes, the Most High, the creator of all existence, or the source of all existence, gave us free will. It gave man and mankind and one man free will, meaning we do have the ability and sovereign gift to choose, you know, the things that we want to do. That's free will. But do not, and as humans, we make the mistake to think that our free will is not subject to the divine will of all existence. So, yes, you have the free will to do what you want, but it does not. It's subject to the divine will of the creator. And if it's not in alignment with the divine will, then your free will just becomes out of alignment. And that's when you run into these brick walls with people not realizing why their life's not going good, or they're always running into these things. It's because, yes, you can do what you want to do, but that doesn't mean there's no consequence or no cause or effect, or as they may say, karma. So the divine will is the supreme order of all existence. Free will is the gift that the creator gave us to experience its infinite creation, but through those boundaries.
Okay.
Yeah.
No questions off the table, is it?
No, absolutely not. We flowing tonight, man. I got my wine out now.
Yeah. So tell me this. We talk about free will.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about divine will.
Mm-hmm.
We talk about God.
That's right.
Man. We talk about woman. We talk about life. We talk about world, right? We talk about children.
That's right.
So think about all these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
As we build on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you speak to your belief in regard to how the Black man should lead and raise up his family? Speak to that. I'm not going to give you any more context to it. I want to, but I want you to kind of speak. I want you to take this free will and just speak.
Well, no, absolutely. I think that's what the world is looking at right now. The world is looking at us as melanin rich, African American, Moorish American, indigenous, native men, you know, to really step up into our real role, into our true role. And to be honest with you, man, they do a flip. You know, they take this term toxic masculinity and say this is toxic masculinity, but really, and I've seen this said before, and it's so true. What we now see as toxic masculinity exists because you guys have, not you, but people have labeled real masculinity as toxic masculinity, right? So now you have a situation where you have males in the place of where men are supposed to be. And, you know, as an African-American man, as an indigenous man, as a melanin rich man, it's vital that we step into our divine station and our divine masculine. It's first off, we have to know who we are. And that's a journey within itself. Then you also have to have a goal. You have to have plans. See, a man represents consciousness. And our divine feminine represents the subconscious. Your subconscious is your intuition. You just know what you know, even if you don't know why you know it. You just know it. That's that woman. That's what we call women wisdom, right? And then the man represents consciousness. Where are we going? Point A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Right? I have a goal. I need to get this done. I got these plans. You got to know where you're going. You have men who don't know who they are. They don't know where they're going. They're producing children. They're not responsible for them. And here we go, generation upon generation that's more disconnected. Think about our grandfathers and our great grandfathers. If for those who've had the privilege of knowing them or seeing them, or at least hearing the stories about them, these brothers were like gods. They were built like gods. Think about your grandfathers. They had big hands, big arms, big bodies, used to work on railroads, farm, coal miners, all kind of, you know what I'm saying? Big backs, all kind of, you know what I'm saying? And like, then they took that out of the household. They took that divine structure, the divine masculine structure out of the household. So grandfather's gone, right? Now you're just left with big mama, and the babies, right? So it started there. Now big mama ain't even in the house no more. So as men, one, we have to understand how we got here. You can't rise. You can only rise where you fell. You can only rise where you fell. So where you fell is where you have to rise, right? You fell here, you still got to get up. You got to step up from where you fell. So we have to understand who we are, where we are, how we got to this point, right? And once men are able to take accountability, get out of your ego and start taking accountability and responsibility for being a change engine for, what needs to be done. And unfortunately, as men, we get so caught in our egos and wanting to be right instead of wanting to be in unison or in harmony. You know what I'm saying? That comes from the woman's side. See, women are about the harmony, the vibe, the space. Men are not tapping into that, and they're missing the point and missing the goal.
So with this question, dang, I can't help. I got to ask you this question. And please elect to answer it however you want to. I'm not trying to corner you with this one. But
you're not going to be able to do it anyway. Let's get it.
Good. I don't, because it's definitely not my intent. It's just that I'm curious to get perspective. As Black men, I'm not putting myself in that category as Black men. I'm saying when I speak to I'm talking about as a collective of Black men, though.
Absolutely.
When we stray away and we go outside of our culture, are we taken away from the continuing development of the Black family and the Black community from your perspective?
That's a good question. That's a powerful question, man. Let me tell you.
Man, and I'm not trying to corner you in that one.
You're not. You can't.
Okay.
You can't. Let me tell you, man. Look, you can't. Look.
I just think there's some Black men out there that need to hear that. I don't know what you're gonna say, but whatever you say, people need to hear a perspective.
The world needs to hear this, and it's the truth, man. Look, man. The answer to that is yes and no. The answer to this is yes and no, and I'm gonna tell you how. The answer is no, because again, if we want to just go into the science and say, okay, our European, Caucasian, Anglo-Saxon family, we're saying we have a collective agreement that they came into existence through us some type of way, whether it been them going to the Caucasus Mountains, them being us originally and going to the Caucasus Mountains and their pigmentation changing due to the climate or other theories. That doesn't matter. They're here, and we do have a collective agreement that they came here through us. If we're saying the oldest people on the earth are African or African-American or melanin-rich people or Moorish people, then okay, all right. So you start from that standpoint. If they come from us, when they integrate back into the family, they become us again. So what you see now is a lot of mixed couples, right? Don't you see a lot of mixed couples everywhere you go, right?
Yeah.
You see a lot, right? Now, if you talk to these people and really have dialogue with them, without them even saying it, a lot of them will admit they're integrating back into I don't want to say dominant because that's a divisive word, into the primordial gene pool, right? Let's just use that word. They're integrating back into the primordial gene pool.
Whoa. Listen, bro, come on. You can't say stuff like that. Because I don't know what the hell you just said. Come on, let's be honest. Come on, man. Like that's the first time I was stuck. I don't know what this is. Let me be real. There's some primordial gene pool. I need a damn. Hold on. Let me get my thesaurus over here.
All right, let me try to simplify it. Because look, I'm very careful with my words because I really try to, and I'll have to stay collective. I have to keep it
This brother
collective
goes
as
to bed.
possible.
Before he go to bed at night, he reads the dictionary just to get.
No, I don't. It's just this. These are just words that have to be used because they're just the perfect energies to use. But let's just say they're trying to integrate back into the original human family. Let's just put it like that, right? They're looking to naturally, right? Naturally, it's in their genetics to want to integrate back into the original human gene pool, right? The most purest form of it, right? That's just natural. All right. Then on the flip side, you have brothers who come from the hood. They get a basketball scholarship. You know, their coach helps them. Their coach family helps them. They go eat on the weekend with the coach's family and all that stuff. The coach gets them into college. They get a great scholarship, get a great education, graduate college. They already got the girl set up for them. And it's a European girl or a girl from another culture. He takes all his money. He puts it into her. He still has mixed children, but his mind, his coding is not for the people. And it may not even be intentional. He may take $1 million and donate it to a rich college that doesn't need the money instead of giving it to a center in your hood that you came from that actually needs it. And you can see it tangibly real time. Mm-hmm. So that's the destructive aspect when you take the resources out of the community, when you take the resources away, not marrying out of your culture, because one person or two people that's not going to do anything. Because melanin rich people, we're the majority on Earth, and that's another conundrum. Because you see us call ourselves minority. I cringe when I hear us say that we're the minority.
Yes,
where?
Yes, yeah, no.
Where?
I mean, please, I've been saying that forever. Like, well, I keep it very simple. Like, I talk in very common sense terms. Like, if you got a bucket of paint, bucket of white paint, you drop an insect in that paint.
Right.
It's now a bucket of white paint with an insect. It's a brown speck. It's no longer white. So it's keep it simple. Like, once anything penetrates into white, it's no longer.
That's right.
Keep it very simple.
Period.
It's like white with a dot.
That's right.
It's just different, you know.
It's beige now. You know, it's off white. And you're right. And you know, like, so I get what your question is, and you're right. It's a yes and no thing. You know, you can't stop people from loving who they love because we're spiritual beings. We're electromagnetic beings. We're spiritual beings. We're based off of energy, right? So that's a spiritual thing. But when you're taking resources out of these communities that are predominantly our people who need it the most to funnel it into systems that are being held up to literally drain the resources out of these communities, and you're wondering where the money is going to, right? So it's a counterculture thing that's based on the codex of the being. You have to be on code, like we say, be on code with each other. So I think that's where the real issue lies. I don't have a problem with brothers per se dating or marrying and having children out their culture. By the time, you know, they're saying in the next 20, 25 years, the most of the majority is going to be mixed anyway. So there you go. There you go.
And in some ways, I mean, there's going to be a subculture of society that's going to think that's progress.
Oh yeah, it's already happened. Because now they're going to look at it as, you have people who are going to look at it as mixed children being the best of both worlds per se.
Yeah.
You know, and that may become another class. It is. It's like a class or subculture within itself. And they have their own fight, because now I'm not, quote unquote, these are misnomers. Now I'm not white enough. Now I'm not black enough. So here we go back to this identity crisis thing again. So,
wow, that's where we're going.
That's where we're here. It's here. It's happening, man.
That's where we're at.
It's here.
That's where we're at. All right, 3 more questions. I like to keep it always at 7. On a lighter note, I think. Is it a lighter note?
It's always light, man.
Not that anything was dark. Not that anything was dark. Young Survey. I'm talking about between the ages of 15 and 22. Young.
Okay, wow.
Who was your celebrity crush?
15 to 22, we had Janet Jackson.
Yep, she's a regular. Janet Jackson. She's a regular on here.
Janet Jackson, man. Janet Jackson, Mariah Carey,
Nia Long.
Nia Long, definitely. Nia Long.
Sidebar. I was watching an interview with Nia Long the other day. This may be a little bit for some of you guys, but we're at the latter part of the conversation. So just stay with me here. And she was talking about her chest, right? And this was like
Right.
young Nia Long when she was running on Friday. You know what I'm saying? She was, you know what I'm saying? This was that Nia Long, right? I'm looking at Nia Long and I'm saying to myself, like, you're calling. I didn't think she was big chested back then. I didn't. That one, you know.
Right.
She's 50 now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to think she had a boob job. I don't know. Maybe she did. Maybe Hollywood brought it to her. But like, I was having this conversation today, man. This may be like some people are like, where's he going? Go listen. I'm just having this conversation. Like, man,
I'm just thinking about it.
She's getting like she's still bad though. Like,
Nia is bad. I haven't seen her.
I don't look at her as a woman that's had surgery. I don't.
She probably the weight, man. It's probably the weight. I mean, you know, I divine emphasis. Yeah, that good weight comes in. Look, we love the weight. Don't get it twisted. That good weight comes in, man, and it just. She doesn't need a boob job. I don't got her doing nothing like that. You know, her grown woman weight came in, which forms
the right place.
And
so all the right places.
Yeah, man. So, oh my God, man. Woo! Come on now. And look, I'm trying to tell you, because the older you get, you getting work done, it gets dangerous, and your body is shaping differently. So I think that's just, I gotta look, because I haven't looked in her like recently and seen her. But
obviously I've been looking too much. But Nia Long,
that's grown woman weight, man. That's all that is. That's that. Yes, Lord.
Salt. That's salt. Man. That's just so like, it's just, you know, good seasoning, you know.
Yes, good seasoning, man. Good seasoning. The juices marinate better, man. Hey, look, all that fake stuff. Like I said, all that fake stuff, man, is going out the window, and I'm so glad. What I got? This is Sauvignon LeBlanc. This is barefoot. They make Moscatos, good white wines and stuff.
I'm on the Malbec tonight.
See, man, that's some grown man business right here, and it's 422. So you know I've been partaking in those festivities. So you know, hey, look, I gotta keep it balanced.
AJ Brewers tonight.
Yeah, shout out to AJ Brewers, man. Brewers Cafe. They had a great event. Shout out Noah. Oh, he put that together. We got a lot of dope stuff coming up, man. Like I said, now that, you know, everybody's getting more comfortable coming out and the weather's breaking, man, people just want to be out again and enjoy life. And we're starting to reminisce and realize what was important in the first place.
Yeah.
So now I hope not everybody, but I hope people have a good sense of what's important in life, what you want to do, where you want to go. Start to embark upon your purpose and start to really discover that and have that revealed to you, because it's a personal journey between you and yourself. Nobody gets to experience your life the way you do but you and your creator.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep. 3 more questions and we're closed.
Chill.
Discouraged people. Well, wrong way to start it. Better way to say this question is, how do you advise people in 2021 to eat?
Woo.
How do you advise them to eat?
You have to eat holistically. Look, holistically. Let me tell you something. Because one thing about me, y'all always know I'm going to stay on that balance, staying whole, right? Because you have people who go far right, where they become completely vegan, and they eat the green electric foods, and everything is alkaline, and then you become too alkaline. And when you become too alkaline, your skin can get dry, your bones can get brittle, your teeth can get brittle. You can get sick from being too alkaline, right? And then you got the far left, people who don't care about any of that. They're still eating hot Cheeto, pig feet, everything under the sun, all candy, all kind of everything, bad diets. And now you're too acidic. Now you got too much mucus. Now you're getting sick. So it's about having a balanced diet. Your pH balance is everything. You don't want to be too alkaline. You don't want to be too acidic. So really you have to know your blood type, your body type, your eating habits, your daily logistical habits. Do you have to work? Do you have to go to work? Are you sitting down more? Do you have an exercise routine? But definitely green leafy foods, water. I mean, make sure you're drinking enough water. Me personally, you know what I'm saying? I do eat chicken. I do eat fish. I don't eat pork, obviously. I rarely eat steak or beef. It's rare, but I will every once in a while. I'm really more on fish, chicken, grilled chickens, green leafy foods, fruits and vegetables. And now we have it's about minerals. Minerals is the most important thing, even above vitamins. You have to get your minerals. Sea moss is a great way to get a lot of minerals in 1 teaspoon. Whether you're taking, the mineral supplements, vitamins, sunlight, Making sure you're getting your feet out there in the grass, in the dirt, your bare feet, the soles of your feet. They don't call them soles for a reason. There's no coincidence. They're called soles, right? So you get your soles in the dirt, in the grass, get that salt water. Make sure you're meditating. It's not just what you're eating, it's what you're ingesting through your eyes, what you listen to, what you're saying out your mouth. It's a holistic lifestyle and awareness.
Your hair growing under that thing, ain't
No,
For real though. Are you? Is that hair under there?
it's not hair.
I was like,
No, these jokes. No, it do look like hair. It made me feel like I got dreads.
I know. I was a foreigner. I was like,
oh. Yo, shout out to Noah because his hair is growing. Shout out to my man Route Runner because his hair grow real fast. I'm like, bro, y'all inspiring me to grow my hair, but I ain't doing it. I ain't got the patience.
Yo, I ain't got the hair. I got pictures though.
No, you rock your baldy though. You rock your baldy. You're actually a person that looks like you're naturally supposed to be bald. So
I used to have I used to have a lot, but
wow. You should post that for a throwback Thursday.
I can show you. I'll show you something. I got something for you.
I gotta see that, bro.
Two more questions.
Go ahead.
First to last. Shout out an unsung hero in the 804.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out.
Just any unsung.
Someone who's someone who just ain't getting it. Don't always publicly get the respect that they probably deserve. Just one. Just shout out one.
Oh my God.
Just one. I know. I know.
There's too many, bro. There's too many. If I say one, it's gonna be a disservice to because there's so many. But you know what though? I'm gonna say this one because he's so low key. He's so low key with it, but he's so impactful and does so much for the culture. Shout out to Moo Meat Daddy, yo. Moo Meat Daddy from the 804 boy. But he's so low key with it and humble with it. Most people wouldn't know unless you know. And a lot of people do know. If you know, you know. But he's one of those people that always inspire me to just be about my business and my hustle and how to politically move out here and make impact and really help shape the culture. He's just one of many. But you don't really hear about Moo because you're not gonna hear Moo talk too much. You're not gonna see him post too much. He's not got no songs, none of that out. But he's one of them cats from the 804 that really helped shape the 804. And you probably would never even know it unless somebody told you or they knew.
I know the only Moo I know is the Moo out of Petersburg. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah, Moo Meat Daddy. Yeah, Moo Meat Daddy. Moo out of Petersburg. Yep. 804 boys, Ilyas.
Yeah. I mean, people should know. If they don't know, then
Man, you'd be surprised, man. You'd
Really?
be surprised, man. Like, man, look at Skills. Look at Skills. People don't even know D'Angelo from Virginia. People don't know D'Angelo from Richmond. You gotta realize, like,
but whose fault is that? It's collective. You could say it's collective. But I blame it on the era and the time, though. You going back to a time that pre-social media too, though.
That's true.
And you have to put it back on him. Like, I mean, we from that era where we know because we know, but
we was outside.
But I don't know that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe let me say what I don't know is like how hard it was D'Angelo going around talking about Virginia and his process. I don't know.
He's an R&B singer. That's not even part of their MO to do that because he's an R&B singer. It's just that in Skill, because I just watched Skills Drink Champs interview, and it was a dope joint. I just watched it, and a lot of people was just, wow, I didn't know, or people don't understand how these dots are all connected, and that's what I love to do. I love to show people how all of these dots are connected and how they connected. And once people see, like, oh, that's connected to that, and that caused that, or that did that, or that inspired that, or they know, or this happened because of that. You like, wow, you get the backstories and the dots are connected. It adds more value and contrast to the picture, and it makes people appreciate it.
I don't know. I ain't looked at my stats lately, but I know when Skills did the interview with Nori, I got about 100 new views.
See, there you go. See, that's what I'm saying. Like it correlates. That's what even with Clubhouse, my Instagram presence goes up because my Clubhouse presence, my Twitter, YouTube, same thing with you. Like when people understand how it's connected, they say, oh, and then they see and they type in skills, and they're going to show all the top skills interviews. Of course, yours is going to come up because it's based off of algorithms.
Yeah.
It's based off of search engines. It's based off of connectivity and connective tissue.
Yeah.
And this is why narratives are so important, because if there's no narrative, there's no storyline. That's what makes a movie good, the narrative.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I appreciate
So if cats don't know the narrative.
That's kind of what, and again, as we close, that's kind of what my goal has been for the show, is to be a narrator for our culture.
Yes. And you, man, who better? You're a master narrator, bro. You are, man. Man, that's one of your gifts. You're just naturally good at that shit. Like,
well, I appreciate it, man. But I mean, I'm not really. All I'm doing is creating a space, man. It's you. It's everybody. It's we. We are narrating. Yeah. We are the gumbo for.
Yes, sir.
For the culture. You know what I'm saying? We are the north of the south. We're the south of the north.
Right. And top of the south, 2 up, 2 down.
Yeah, that's what it's. And and I'm just fortunate enough to be in this space to be able to play my part. And so that is what my ending piece was. My ending piece, my last question was like, tell folks who are listening why they should tune in to the Randy Wilson podcast.
Hey, I just told you, man, because Randy creates a space where people from all walks of life and backgrounds can come and be transparent and add to the collective consciousness, add to the collective creativity to expand and evolve and show the many facets and aspects of who we are. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time, show you how we're all connected and show you how we all have commonalities and show you how pieces of the puzzle can be brought together to make a beautiful picture, man. And you do it in all industries. I've seen all kind of people on your show, man. I'm just like, wow, man, people come to this one space and you can dive into all this content and learn so much. And the next phase of what you're talking about, that's a natural progression. That's a natural ascension. And I feel and see the vision, as you said, because I've been having these conversations behind the scenes. So, it's right on time, bro. You're right. It's about that timing, good brother. Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, man, I appreciate that. There could be some mediocre big things coming soon. I don't want to I don't know where to categorize them, but we may be going to another space. We may be going to another hosting platform. I have been entertaining the shows. I've been entertaining it, and but I don't know. At the end of the day, I want to be able to still own the creative piece of it. So I think I'm gonna do something, but I'm gonna own it. I'm gonna keep it very simple right now, because I'm not really ready to do nothing expansive. I don't think I'm there yet.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I don't think we there yet. And what I mean by that is that I think as we move as a collective in Virginia, we're going to all move together. I'm just going to play my part in narrating it. Right.
There you go.
I think it's a matter of I think that we got to be able to identify within the youth, those who have the ability to kind of drive the bar. We need to stay connected to them. We need to stay close to them.
Yeah, you're right, man.
And we need to move with them.
That's right.
And if we move with them, then I think the light will then shine on all the. But we got to start with the youth. We got to start with the youth.
We got to give them the game, bro. We got to tell them all the things that.
That's the youth dictates the sound.
That's right. That's a fact. They running it now.
Yeah, and through the sound, if we can listen to the sound, then we'll be able to capture the jewels and the gems and the messages of content that comes with it. But it's the youth that's going to dictate the sound. So as old heads, we just got to play our position. And that's it, man. It's kind of where we are. But
facts. Stay tapped in with these youngest, man. Give them the knowledge, give them the game. That way they can be more optimal with their energy. They can make the right moves, and they can help their people, help their families. And that's what we here to do, man. As OGs, as bridges, as old heads, whatever they calling us now. We here.
Yeah.
Ha ha.
Before we close, your gift, your passion, your purpose.
Yes, sir.
This
you
is
better know it.
Robert Serbay. I don't know Robert. I don't really know Robert. Serbay, you can see him out. Hey, this is the brother on the back. He's got everything on there that you need to see. All right. Hey, make sure before we close, you drop all your social media handles and everything in regard to how people can get in contact with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. It's Serbay on everything. SIR _BEY if you're on Instagram, or just Sir Space Bay on all platforms, on all streaming apps. Get the book. I appreciate everybody's support, everybody who's been sending me the warm messages, and have your children reading it and you're reading it. Man, it really warms my heart, and I appreciate it. It's Serbay at everything, man. The Randy Wilson podcast, VA, Great Ofo, 2 up, 2 down. You know what it is, man. Much love.
Yo, y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. Wherever you like podcasts, follow, please. Check me out on Instagram at Randy Wilson Podcast. This is episode 70, for whatever that means. It's interesting. It has a 7 in it.
You see what that number say right there? That's the number 7. So, and it's in a circle. So that's 70, right there. So there you go.
I don't know. Hey, so this is the thing. It was meant to be.
That's right.
You
on 70? Woo, that's huge, bro.
It wasn't meant to be 7. It wasn't 17. It wasn't 70. I mean, it was 70.
No, it was 70, 70, bro. And I got it on my arm, bro. And that's about 70, bro. Hey, bro, like you said, it's your highlight reel, and you get to study yourself so you can be a better self, and you can see other aspects, you know what I'm saying, of your creativity and your content. And now it gives you new inspiration. So, yo, game time, bro. And like you said, don't overwhelm yourself. It's about just enjoying the creative process and the epiphanies and the steps. And, you know, it's about enjoying it. One thing I learned, man, when cats start making this stuff a job, that's when the joy start getting sucked out of it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, stay tapped in to what got you into it in the first place and why you love doing it. You know,
I miss being outside though.
It's coming, bro. We about to, bro.
It's lit, coming. I ain't gonna lie. It's coming, but like, there's pros and cons to this thing. Like, it's
right.
There's beauty to this too. It is. It's beauty to it, because it makes it's convenient.
Yeah.
And facts. I really miss being like
out there, feet out there, feeling the energy in the element. And I see that aspect too. People going to these cats' neighborhoods or chilling with these cats on their day-to-day life and really documenting it, narrating. And actually giving context and knowledge and light at the same time, where you're learning and you're experiencing. And that's available because I think more people are open now to tell their story, you know, and you're seeing it with the youth, man. I think now is just the bridge needs to be strengthened with the youth and us OGs. And that's one thing that's kind of been keeping things distorted. And I think now that the merging is happening because you having us in the same areas now. I'm going to pop-up shops and studios and these young boys in there, and we can now kick it and boom, boom, boom. You know, and they wide open to it. So you're right, bro. Now's the time, bro. We in it. We're creating it as we go.
It's happening.
For sure.
Remember what I shared with you. Like, let's definitely connect and build, and how we can transfer this conversation to other places so we can bring people in.
Let's go, man. Let's go. I got you. It's already in motion. We already been. It has to happen like that because, like, you know, we don't know how people are gonna receive this. We don't know when they're gonna receive it. But when they do receive it, you know, we wanted to make it as effective as possible so we can have calls to action. You know.
So again,
for real,
you guys, you can't see it, but you can find this podcast streaming everywhere: Stitcher, Google, Spotify, Libsyn, Google Play, Apple, YouTube, whatever. It's gonna be everywhere.
Turn up.
We're gonna be on Clubhouse soon.
Yes.
Hey, it's a pleasure to see you guys. We're about to close this up. When I close it, it'll be closed, but you and I can touch base offline at some point. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely, man. Thank you, man. Thank you for having me this evening, man. Thank y'all for tuning in, man. We're gonna do this again, bro. Be on the lookout for much more because we got a lot of work to do. Much love.
For sure. This is the Randy Wilson Podcast, episode 70, and good night.
Peace.